I'm a bit sick, so I only have like lipstick on and nothing else. Sorry. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and today we are here to talk about 20 books I want to read in 2020. There are a lot of books that I want to read this year, but all of the ones I have to show you today are from my physical TBR, my like backlist books, because there's a bunch of them and I need more space in my TBR shelf to fit everything. I've divided all these books in 3 categories. The first one is recommendations from friends. The second one is books in the middle of series or finishing series that I still haven't read. And the third one is just books that have been sitting on my shelves for too long, or that I really want to read but for some reason I've been putting it to the back of my mind and just not reading them. Once I'm done talking about these books, I'm gonna write all the names in a little piece of paper, put it into a mug, like something like this. This is my bookmark mug that lost the little handle. Pray for her. And every month in my monthly TBR, I'm gonna take out either 1 or 2, because I have 20 books and we have 100 we have 11 months left in the year. So like 1 or 2 little slips of paper, and I'm gonna try and read those specific books in that month, if that makes any sense. I'm not gonna give like detailed descriptions for each book because we'll be here all day, and my videos are really long and I'm trying to make them a bit shorter, so I'm just gonna like tell you why they're in this list, maybe give you like a tiniest description of life. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's just get right into it with the books that were recommendations from my friends. Because I'm a bad friend, I haven't read them yet. First book I want to read in the year of 2020 is Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. This was recommended by Cleo. Hi babes, hi wife. And I haven't read it yet. I bought it while I was in the UK in one of those secondhand shops. That's why it looks like this. I think it was in my haul. Yeah, for sure it was. So I have this book and I have Knife's Edge, which is the second one. So imagine I read this book and then the little slip comes out in the mug thing. Then I'll read Knife's Edge. But I just want to put one book per series in this whole 20 books to read in 2020 thing. But this book has been in my TBR for a while, and it's a dystopian. A dystopian is coming back with the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So that's why I want to read it, and it's a recommendation. I need to do better by my friends and read the things they tell me to read. Next I want to pick up The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. This book has a movie coming out, and apparently this movie has been meaning to come out for years. So like, sorry to this fandom. I really want to read this. This was another of Cleo's recommendations. Thank you, wife. But this is a chunky boy though, so I'm a bit intimidated by it. And I think I started it at some point and just didn't continue with it. So I don't remember why. But this cover is really nice, and hopefully I'll be picking this up. We might as well get all of Cleo's recommendations out of the way. We have here Turned Upside Down, Circe by Madeline Miller. I read The Song of Achilles, I really liked it, but I know Madeline Miller's writing style can be a little bit slow to get through. Like, it's really beautiful, it's really poetic, but it takes me quite a bit of time to read her books, and I think that's why I haven't picked this one up yet. But maybe if a little slip of paper happens to come by saying I need to read it, I'll finally read it, and I know everyone on BookTube loves it as well. So I'm really excited. Hopefully I'll really like it. Last but not least on my list of recommended books, I have The City of Brass by S.A. I've been trying to pronounce this name. I have like an audio. I literally Google how to pronounce it and I just can't do it. Chakrabarti. Please teach me like how to pronounce it correctly. If you know, I'm so sorry. This is another book that I bought not here. I think I bought this in Madrid while I was there, and apparently it has like thieves and things, and Kayla really loves it. Thank you for the recommendation, wife. And I haven't read it yet because I'm a bad friend. So I'm gonna get to this, and the current year I'm still really nervous about this thing. Chakrabarty. I'm gonna play it again. Chakrabarty. Okay. Really excited to read this. Now let's talk about the books that are either in the middle of a series, or are a continuation of a series, or are the ending of a series that I really need to read for 105 different reasons. Let me just go one by one. Okay, first book I want to talk to you about is Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I said on Twitter that I was reading this. I'm not anymore. I read I read 19 pages in, and I just can't. I just don't care. I don't give a single shit, and I'm so sorry about that. I should have read this as soon as I finished Siege and Storm, because now I don't remember anything, and I'm just reading it like, who's that person? Why are they here? What's happening? And it's very stressful. I need to get to King of Scars. I still haven't read it. And I need to do my Six of Crows reread, because that's what I deserve. That's what I need to survive 2020. So to do that, I need to finish reading this book. And then the show comes out like the end of the year. Very stressful. I need to have this read. And I need to have King of Scars read and Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom reread once the show comes out, because I need to freak out properly about it. So I don't know if I should just reread Shadow and Bone and Season Start, but that sounds like something I don't want to do. Anyway, whatever. Another book that I should have just read after I read the first two books in the trilogy is The Midnight Star by Marie Lu. The first book is The Young Elite, the second book is The Rose Society, I think. I read them both. I didn't really like them. I think my expectations were just too high, because I do love the Legend series and I do love villains. So I was expecting to love this. I didn't. And so that's why I haven't read the third book. But now I remember absolutely nothing about the series, about the other two books in the trilogy. So I don't know how I'm gonna read this. I don't know if I should just reread the other two books, or if I just should either look at reviews or look at those. There's that website that gives summaries of the other books in the series. Maybe I should just look at that. I don't know. I'm stressed out, but I'm adding this to the list because it does need to get read. Next we have a second book in a trilogy, and it's A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I need to make a video reading this. Everyone's doing it. It's like BookTube's #1 trend is reading this book and vlogging it, and I really do want to do it because she's a chunky bitch. But apparently there's like a lot of awkward sex scenes, and I have so many vlogs from some of my favorite booktubers to watch where they read this, and I haven't watched them yet because I don't care, but at the same time I don't want to get spoiled, so I can like have a more accurate and honest reaction to reading this. So I don't know, that is just my schedule. It's not allowing me to fit reading this book and vlogging about it, so I don't know what I'll do. I can see like the reflection of the book in my phone case. It's really cool, actually. Really enjoy that. Anyway, I want to get to this because I want to vlog about it, and I want to make a funny vlog. Views, guys, views! This category is never ending. But next we have Blue Lily Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. I really liked the Dream Thieves. I enjoyed Ish the Raven Boys, but like Madeline Miller, I just find Maggie Stiefvater's writing style, although it's very beautiful, it's very hard to get through. Like, it takes me 100 years to read one of her books. It took me so long to read The Dream Thieves, even though I was loving it. But I do want to get to this, and then I do want to get to The Raven King, so I can read Call Down the Hawk. The Dreamers trilogy. Oh, I'm so good at this. So I can read the Dreamers trilogy. But oh, I started this as well. I love just finding random bookmarks. I got 33 pages in, so a bit better than Wind and Rising. Don't remember why I put it down. I just think, again, I need to read series closer together because I just forget everything that happened in the previous books. So that's why I stopped, probably, because it's why I always stop. But I don't know, I don't really mind rereading the first 2 books. I think that could be fun. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm just piling all the books at my feet. Okay. I haven't taken a thumbnail yet. Ooh. Alright. Next book we have is Sea of Monsters by Sea of Monsters by Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan, not by Percy Jackson. I read The Lightning Thief this month and I really enjoyed. This is a recommendation as well, but it's also a continuation from a series, and the biggest reason why I want to read it right now is so I don't forget what happened in the first book, because for some reason I started the first book last year and finished it. A whole thing happened with that book, but I really enjoyed it, and I love Percy, I love Annabeth. The writing style is so funny. I really want to get to this, and it's quite shorter than a lot of the other books, and they are middle grade-ish, so they're out. Okay. They are middle grade-ish and easy to get through, so we'll see. Again, if a little paper comes out with Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, I'll just read whatever the next book is. I have all of them right up there. Next we have A Close and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. I read The Long Way to a Small and Angry Planet last year. I loved it so much. It was a bit of a slower read as well, but not because of the writing style. I just think it's very character driven, so the plot is a lot slower, but I love that. I love character driven stories. I love these paperbacks, they're so fun. Music to my ears. I really like The Long Way to a Small and Angry Planet. I still don't understand if this is a direct sequel or if it follows different people. I haven't read the back. Maybe I'll just pick it up and not read the back at all. I don't know. And I know there's another book, A Record of a something like that, and I love these covers, and yeah, I'm gonna read this year 100%. Next we have the shortest novel on the list, and it's Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shannon McGuire. I hear a lot of people saying this is their least favorite book in the series of the books that are out already, of course. So maybe that's why I've been putting it, just not reading it. And I tend to take a long time to read smaller books after I buy them. I'll talk about that in a little bit though. But yeah, I really like Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I preferred it to Every Heart Doorway. I think I'm just gonna need to accept that maybe I won't like this one as much, but everyone loves the next one. And then the next one just came out, and I really like this series. I think Shannon McGuire's writing has that slow pace feeling to it, but because these books are so short and there's a lot that happens in them, I find they are quite easy to read and quite quick to read, and like the font is really big as well. So we'll read this. Last on this category we have a chunky boy, and that's Obsidian by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Again, I heard a lot of people say this is their least favorite in the trilogy. And again, I liked Gemina more than I liked Illuminae, even though I loved Illuminae. But Illuminae kind of like took me a bit to get used to the style. And these books are another one that I feel like I need to reread Illuminae and I need to reread Gemina before getting to Obsidian. But maybe I'll try the audiobook because everyone loves them. And I think I have them on Audible, and I think they're on Scribd as well. These books are kind of quick and kind of not, I think, depending on the mood, but you can get through, like compared to the size, you can get through them pretty quickly. Okay, so it's time for a third category, and that's just books that have been on my shelves for too long, that I really want to read but haven't yet. And let's just start with a graphic novel, some graphic novels. So first of all, we have Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. This is the first volume. I have the second volume on my shelf as well, and I think the third will come out soon. So now is the perfect time for me to talk about the short books thing I mentioned before. So basically, it takes me really long to read. Really long as in not really long to go through, but really long to start reading graphic novels and short books after I get them. And that's mainly me trying to stretch my money, because graphic novels especially are really expensive, and because I feel like I get through them in one sitting, then I kind of end up feeling bad that I spent so much money on them to go through them so fast. But then I don't like reading graphic novels and stopping in the middle, or comics, whatever. Even when it comes to stopping like after a comic, so graphic novels have different comics in them. Even if I stop like after a comic, I don't like that. It feels strange to stop in the middle of a graphic novel. So I feel like I just don't read them for a really long time because I'm trying to get the most money out of them. And I know that makes absolutely no sense, but that's just how I feel. So yikes. Let's just get the other two novels out of the way because they're exactly the same reason. So we have Saga Volume 1, and then Saga has the added reason that it has a bunch of volumes, and if I really like this, I'll spend so much money on these graphic novels. I'm just not mentally ready for that. So that's why I haven't read Saga. And I also have Descender by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. This is the second volume of Descender. I really like the first one, but I do need to reread it before reading this because I read it quite a long time ago. And again, it's the same reason. It's the same reason. It's why I don't read graphic novels all the time. Okay, so let's get back into fiction novel territory with The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. One of the reasons why I haven't read this is because I absolutely hate this edition. Let me find a normal paperback. So this is a normal paperback. This is my edition of The Night Circus. It's tiny, and I think it has quite tiny, and then it's weird and really stiff. I don't like this edition, but for some reason it was the edition that I bought, and I've been really excited to read this book. I really like magical realism, and everyone has been raving about Erin Morgenstern's new book, and this has been sitting on my shelves for so long, and everyone loves it, and I haven't read it, and I need to read it, and yeah. That's the tea on The Night Circus. Next we have another book that I found in the UK that's in my secondhand bookstore haul, and it's The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. It's been so long since I've heard people rave about this that I don't remember what it's about. I just know that it's fantasy, and I know that it's queer. Maybe. I hope I'm not making that up. But not like The Night Circus. I love this edition. She's very floppy. I love doing that. And I do hear that they're quite dense books, so that they're a bit difficult to get through, and that's why I haven't picked this one up yet. But it's going on this list, so soon, my darling, soon. Next we have a book that I have translated in Portuguese, and that's The 15 Lives of Harry August by Claire North. I have a few books that are translated on my shelves, and for some reason I always just never pick them up. I have a bit of a bone to pick with translations sometimes. I do really like the translation for A Darker Shade of Magic. I don't like a lot of other translations. But I really like the whole trope of reliving your life multiple times. And I heard good things about this book when it was like on the height of its popularity, and I really want to get to it. So I need to get over the fact that it's translated and just give it a try. If it's shit, I'll just not read this edition and read something else. Maybe the audiobook. Who knows? We are getting to the end of our stack, but next we have Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I'm terrified that I won't like this. And I just realized that not long ago, because this has been sitting on my shelves for a really long time. This is the UK cover. I had no problem getting the UK cover, so you can imagine how long I've had this for. And now I want to buy God's Grave. But the UK edition isn't available anymore. And I'm just like, oh, now I won't read it because I won't have the same edition of God's Grave. I think I'm just terrified that I won't like this because it seems so much up my alley. And then it's funny, it's dark, there's assassins in it, and it's just, the cover is literally gorgeous. I love it so much. And I'm just scared that I won't like it. So that's why I haven't read it. But I do really want to finally pick this up, and maybe I want to vlog this one as well, because I want to do a whole like reading booktube's faves series, and this is definitely a booktube favorite, and I want to pick it up. Someone force me, please. Thank you. And the last, the 20th book, if I manage to count right, we have Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. Children of Blood and Vengeance just came out, like December, I'm not sure, it just came out, and I still haven't read this, and I think I bought this as soon as it came out. I've heard okay things. Yeah, as I was saying, I heard okay things about this, but I think the magic system is really cool apparently, and I love this cover, and I really want to read it, so that's why it's on this list. So those are the 20 books I want to read in 2020. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to check my February TBR once it comes out, so you can see me picking some books for next month and talking about some of the challenges that I'll be doing. Don't forget to like, whatever, subscribe, whatever it is that people do on YouTube, and I hope you have a very nice day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!